If you wanna be bright-minded, there's just one place to go. When you're stuck at home and the time is ticking slow. Monday through Friday, live with Miley on my Instagram show. On my Instagram show. Stay lit, everybody. Good morning and good night to some of y'all watching. I've got some good news today. Yesterday, we talked about the incredible doctors and healthcare workers who are working tirelessly and heroically to save lives. Today, I want to highlight more people who are behind the scenes getting healthcare workers and all of us the supplies that we need. So I hope today you'll join me in showing some extra love and appreciation towards the people working the grocery stores, the people driving trucks and delivering goods to us, and the people making critical supplies. I'm so inspired to see people stepping up to meet the increased needs during this time. One example is actually a company I'm proud to use for my touring. They deal with my lighting, and we've worked together for a long time. They're called Upstaging. Upstaging has switched over during this time to supply medical goods, and they're responding to the crisis. They're making face shields to protect us. They're using their printing services for hospital signs and social distancing in grocery stores. Upstaging is just one example of people using their resources to make a difference during this crisis. So share what you're doing to make a difference and tag Happy Hippie Foundation's Instagram. So that's at Happy Hippie FDN, and it will be my honor to highlight your work. So speaking of highlighting incredible work, we invited some of the best in the beauty business to Bright Minded to share their approach to self-care and how that is reflective of self-love. After DIY face mask with Biba, talking about how to get someone's look without trying to be someone you're not with makeup artist James Kaliardos, at-home mani with Steph Stone, and hair treatments with Justin Anderson and his special guest model Kristen Cavallari. After speaking with the Get Gorgeous gurus, we're going to be talking to Miranda Kerr about mental, emotional, and physical health. She's a model, mom, and businesswoman. So I want to see how she really balances all of that. And then we'll be talking to Queen Ashley Graham about her personal relationship with self-love. Okay, so our first guest is Biba DeSousa, who has been my esthetician and my facialist for over 8 years now. I battled with folliculitis, I had acne, and after seeing Biba and following her regime, I was clear. Biba taught me clear skin doesn't need to be expensive. It's not just about what you use, but it's about what you don't use. What you don't use and what you don't put on your skin is as important as what products you will put on the skin. So Biba is going to walk us through an at-home DIY way to make treatments from quarantine. So let's connect Biba right now.
Oh my God.
Biba!
Oh my God.
So Biba, I tell you every time that I see you how appreciative I am to you for clearing my skin. Not with product per se, but with knowledge. I love my Biba products. I got my hydrating spray. But what I love about working with you is that you try to get me down to as minimal of a regimen as possible. You don't want me traveling with like a million bottles of products that are going to take over my life and my bathroom. So I love how minimal you keep my regime. You know, you've taught me all of the do's and don'ts, and I'm so excited to share that before we make our DIY mask, because I think some of the skin don'ts are just as important as the do's. You know, a big do obviously is never skip the sunscreen. You always want to be wearing sunscreen. That's been a crucial part of my regimen. You've been keeping me safe. But what are some of the don'ts?
Don't skip your face washing at night, because what's going to happen, that like natural cleansing process is going to be interrupted. Don't touch your face. I mean, come on. We've been telling this, facialists were telling this to people all for the whole time. Don't touch your face. Don't pick your face, because it looks very easy to pop a pustule. You know, those like juicy ones, they look easy to pop, but you create a crater. You disturb your collagen. And for self-esteem, I think it's better to have a pimple than to have a terrible scab that's like lasts for months.
Yeah.
Right.
So talking about do's, you wanted to make something today that a lot of people can make at home.
The toner is made with oatmeal groats and water. So you want purified water, obviously. Distilled water will be the best. So it's really perfect for eczema, rosacea, and dehydration. The toner lasts in a refrigerator for 4 days, and then toss it. So you can use any oatmeal. I have this one. And here are the proportions. So 4 tablespoons, which is about 1/4 cup of the oatmeal. We're going to put in 3/4 cup of water. Alrighty. So here they are.
Yep.
This much oatmeal and this much water. We're going to mix. We're going to let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
And what's going to happen, those little growths are going to start dissolving, right? So we get that colloidal oatmeal. I made this ahead of time because obviously I wanted to show people. This is how it looks. You see, this is a milky substance and the growths are down on the bottom. If you shake it, it will become milky again.
Oh, cool.
And you're going to strain it until you get a toner. Again,
cool.
So this is a lot of toner. So you can shake it, shake it, shake it. You're going to get all this starch here. The starch is what's going to hydrate the skin. It's going to create this emollient texture, and it's going to prevent something that's called the transepidermal water loss, where dehydration. We in LA, at least, we suffer from this because of the climate. So when we strain the toner, we're going to get growths, and it's like a kind of like a mushy, delicious smelling, like little mass. So these growths are fabulous because we can mix, say, a teaspoon of olive oil. We can make a fabulous hand mask.
Yeah.
Now that we're wearing all these utility gloves, also you can add a little honey and make a face mask.
I love that.
It just keeps in the refrigerator for a couple of days, and you have a lot. Like you have probably 2 to 3 uses for mask for the face or for your hands. And the second thing I wanted to display is the Turkish glow. And Turkish glow is basically a mixture of salt and sugar, and it can be used for the face or the whole body, and it's a really fun treatment because you only need a tablespoon of salt and a tablespoon of honey, and then you're going to just mix them. The salt has to be fine table salt, not the kosher or coarse salt. If you have a coarse salt, just kind of pound it until it becomes like a small crystal because it will be scratchy, right?
Cool.
So you're going to mix it, mix it, mix. It's going to get bright, almost white, and voila, you have it.
I love that.
How fast it was. It was less than a minute, right?
Seriously.
So on a clean skin, remove the hair off the face because it's really sticky. Apply this mask and then watch for the drip because the body temperature will melt it. And then after 10 minutes, you're going to just take a little bit of a tap of water, just gently rinse it off, gently in a circular movement. You scrub the skin. The best part is you can do this for the whole body. Just increase the quantities. It's a 1-to-1. If it's a 1 tablespoon of salt, it's 1 tablespoon of honey. You can be just in sitting on the edge of a bathtub and then wash off. The sugar is a natural source of glycolic acid.
Yeah.
So it's your exfoliant. It's antibacterial. And then salt is also antibacterial. So it's a disinfecting. And the salt will be scrubbing, and it's not like sugar. It's a small crystal that doesn't scratch. So you get this amazing feeling of being clean and your skin being really super soft. And it's just the best thing. They've been using it in hammams for centuries.
I love that so much. I see everyone saying that they cannot wait to try it. So thank you so much for showing us. This is so easy, super simple, and it's going to feel so good. And I love all the antibacterial qualities. That's really perfect for right now.
Oh yeah, it is.
Thank you so much, Biba. Thank you for being on Bright Minded. So it is really important to find a makeup artist that respects skincare. And they also have to respect who you really, truly are. Not try to change you, but enhance you. So I'm really proud to introduce my makeup artist of almost 10 years, James Kaliardos.
Miley.
Hi. How are you doing, James? I'm so happy to have you on the show.
I know, I'm so happy to see you. You look amazing. I love your little short bangs. You look so cute.
And it's interesting. I kind of like it. It's a good time to learn lessons while we're in quarantine, you know? But, you
Yeah,
know, you and I have been through so much together.
so
You've been
much
through some
together.
of my best days, and you've been involved in some of my more challenging days. So it's really important that when, you know, someone sits into your chair, especially you being male and working with, I'm sure mostly females,
Yeah.
the way you talk to us will like, it will make or break the photo or the music video or the film that
Yes, absolutely. Because, like, I mean, I feel like part of my job, yeah, is doing a perfect red lip or whatever, but most of my job is just making sure you feel great. And however, if that means a red lip or eyeliner, or if that means no makeup or zit cream, or you know what I mean? We've gone through so many different things. If that means like smearing paint all over your face, or if it means just like helping you feel good so that you can face a huge public, a
yeah.
concert stage, or a photo shoot with strangers that maybe you don't feel so comfortable with.
For people at home that have seen me usually after I've had like, you know, I've gone in and I've done my makeup and I've done my hair, and it may not be exactly, I didn't necessarily wake up like this sometimes. I wanted to expose myself a little bit in that way for you.
Okay.
I wanted to go like, okay, the day that, you know, I was on the Bill Murray carpet for Bill
Yeah.
Murray Christmas, and I said in an interview
Yeah.
that I never
Actually,
want to do a red carpet again. That's because I
yeah.
woke up, I was super broken out, super puffy, but we
Yeah.
had totally gone through and concealed and made me feel really, really
I know.
good.
I actually
You
have a
know,
little like,
oh yes, but you can't make up someone's soul. So because I was kind of insecure and
yeah,
sad that day about my skin, I totally wore that. You know, I totally went in and said I never want to do a carpet again because it's too much
yeah.
pressure. And it
You were
was
like,
really
I'm
like,
never doing a carpet again. And I honestly, at the time, I kind of didn't quite realize, but it was like sometimes I follow you on the carpet in real time, right? And I go behind the photographers and they're all screaming at you. And if you don't feel perfect, and I see them like they're taking pictures of your toes or your armpits or your
I
boobs or what, you
know.
know what I mean? Or whatever. So it's like, it's a very hard thing to face. I mean, when you just see one picture and you're, you know, just like looking perfect, it's hard to imagine how intense that moment is. And if you feel insecure, you're not going to be able to do it. And I feel like you've come such a long way, because now sometimes when you do red carpet, you just, it's like you don't give a shit and you just have fun out there for yourself.
And that's been so much of a growing process for me. Like, I remember the first time I'm sure a lot of us, the first time we really get our photo taken is like yearbook. We go and we get
Yeah.
a picture taken at the yearbook.
Yeah. And that's so
And
stressful.
they had the same lighting for every single person, same backdrop, same everything. And I remember
Yeah.
I had this huge zit on my forehead. I was actually just telling this story
Oh
the other day with
no.
Bailey Huber. Had this huge zit on my
That's
forehead,
when
and I
you'd
was
like
already
do a
so
bang.
upset. And my dad, I walked downstairs and he goes, ew, after looking at the zit. And I was like, thanks a lot. So then my mom made me look like a freaking Yorkie. I didn't even have bangs. She kind of like took the hair from the back and pulled it forward to kind of hide it. But
Tish,
it would have been so much more like totally
we love
fine for me to have this big zit on my head. But instead, like in my process of trying to like hide my face and cover myself, you wear your insecurities. And if you just go out
yeah.
there and go, you know what, I'm broken out right now and I am still the coolest person and I've got a fucking amazing sense of humor and I do a lot of great charity work, and you go out there and go, I'm the shit, and
Yeah, it's not
every
about your
zit on my
zit.
forehead isn't gonna tell me otherwise.
Yeah,
You
exactly. But
know,
like you have to like find that place in yourself that you can really not see yourself the way other people see you. You have to see yourself the way you see you. And so you can go out there, whether it's going to school, red carpet, facing your family, you know, whatever it is, you got to like go in and be like, this is me. It doesn't really matter about other people's opinions, because if you feel confident, you can carry almost any look
yeah,
on earth. So,
anything. I'm kind of known for rebellion and for
yes,
doing the unexpected.
which
And
I
my
love.
rebellion plays a huge part in my makeup.
Yeah.
Um, and so, you know, the more serious or sophisticated an event is, the like kind of more fun I'll have with it. So
Yes.
if something is supposed to kind of feel very fashion and sterile, I'll go, fuck it, put a shit ton of glitter on my eyes. Let's
Yeah.
go blue. Let's do
Yeah.
lashes. And then for
Yeah.
Met Ball, you know, this last year, I think it was camp themed. And so everyone expected I'd come in like totally crazy.
You of all people that we would go cuckoo crazy.
I went bare. I pretty much almost went bare face. So I want to do the unexpected. I want to do the opposite of what everyone else is going to do, because then you will always stand out. So whether we're going to Saint Laurent, which isn't known for playing with a lot of color, I'll do a lot of blue on my eye.
Yeah, like, I mean, for Saint Laurent, remember we were in your room and I was doing like a blue smoky eye and it just got overwhelming. And so I like wiped most of it off, and whatever was left looked suddenly cool, you know. So it's kind of like trusting your gut and knowing, even though we wanted to try that, what I'm seeing is not Miley. Like, the makeup has to be kind of transparent enough that I see you no matter what we do. I feel like if you have too much of a mask, sometimes it just really covers up who you are.
Absolutely. And like some of my fans right now, I see them kind of writing about all their favorite looks that they love. Like, we love this look, we love this look, we love this look.
Like, I loved like this when you sang,
oh, I love that.
Oh, Karen, don't be sad, which is one of my favorite performances that you did. And you had that huge wig, and we just literally did so little. I remember going in backstage at SNL and just like
the teeniest,
tiny, like the tiniest little thing. And it's like, we don't do that triangle concealer thing. Like, we just go in with like little bits.
The one thing I want to talk about, you know, is how to be inspired by makeup, how to achieve someone's look when not trying to look like them, still look like yourself.
If you are inspired by a person, as we are, we're like, let's do Dolly, let's do Stevie Nicks. We take it as like a takeoff point. We don't copy and exactly, because you don't look like Cher.
I kind of like to use like color by numbers as an example. So color by numbers is just an outline, but you don't have to follow the fucking numbers. It's just an outline. Those are suggestions.
Yes,
those numbers are suggestions. So when you're coloring something, the tiger can be fucking blue and purple if you want it to be. The suggestions is that, oh, use orange and black. Use like, here's the suggestions. But when you're coloring something, you're allowed to play and like imagine what would it be like to have a pink and green cheetah instead. And you can do that with your coloring.
It's not about looking like someone else at all. You could do a glitter outfit. We'd be like, Cher, oh my God, you know, but you don't look like Cher. We're not going to copy Cher's look on you. We're going to like adapt it to your bone structure, to your skin color. It's more about like going for a vibe.
You were just saying like, it's a really important time to take it easy on ourselves, to be super kind to ourselves, like super forgiving to ourselves. And so one thing I want to talk about is, you know, I guess really a part of like how I do my makeup, not really when I'm getting ready for something specific, but just in my everyday life, you know, I keep it pretty neutral.
And you're really good at it. Like, hello.
A little too good.
A little too good. I'm out of a job.
Like, I think makeup has really become about covering up or creating new lines. Like, okay, with this contour, you know, it's all about creating this illusion. I don't really want an illusion. I really just, I kind of feel, you know, and go, okay.
Yeah, like you feel where your bones are, and we use so little. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, this is
I did the same thing. I gave that to James.
I know, I love it. I mean, it's so cute, but it's like, it's not very big.
I actually put together my like essentials, and it's very, very light. I have a stick with my concealer because I want to be able to go like this to things.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, and so I don't want to have to put it all over.
Yeah.
And so I discovered like I have a little ingrown hair right here, and I have.
I know, we just do like little tiny dots. Like we go like.
And I love like just being able to go, you know, like right here I have a little something, like I just go boom.
It's like tiny. It's not like those huge Instagram triangle shapes.
These are what did this, by the way.
Did you use those scissors for that?
I walked into
that was so cute.
Room, and Mike Will was hanging out and we were working on making music, and he goes, "You look like a damn palm tree." And
you don't look like a palm tree.
The one thing that I really, really like to use also is I love like a 2-in-1 because then you don't have to pack too much. So this is like my little contour, and this is my powder, and it's and I only need a brush, so I just go
and I have it too.
My
and it's all like it's disappearing.
I follow.
We need more. We need more.
And then I just go like this, and I kind of do my crease. And so I really only need this, and then I go in here and I just blot where I'm a little oily, and this is all I need. I
mean, that's like, you know, when we did like Karen, or when we do like, you know, something kind of more minimal, that's what we do. Like we just kind of, you know, we shade a little bit, we shade a little bit. but it's
And
so subtle.
so you can bring less. You can also find a contour that's not orangey, like not a bronzer, just more, sandy, but adjust to whatever your skin tone needs. But then you can put a little bit on your brush, and I'll even just like do my eyebrow with it.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to bring too much. And then you just really have such little, I can just go in and do my little brow. Literally, I could go on a trip for a year with these 5 things.
I know, totally.
And I actually got it down just to 5 because I'm like, I can bring this in anything. I can put this in the smallest clutch.
I mean, that's kind of what I bring on stage with me when you're performing, just in case. Like, it's like the smallest little thing.
And James works with Fenty and works along with Rihanna and has done Rihanna's makeup a million times. And so he gave me this Fenty lip gloss and I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And I imagine that I taste like Rihanna. Well, I'm so happy I got to have you on the show. And
I'm so happy about your show. Your show is so amazing. It's so good you're sharing your gifts. I mean, like a lot of people hold their gifts close to them and they don't share. And you're so generous in that way. Like you just, whether it's your voice or your outspoken political beliefs or your help for the crew of LGBTQ, like you're just so amazing in sharing.
Thank you, James. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, and I love you so much.
I put the share and share. I'm going to start spelling my sharing is caring. C-A-E-R. Sharing is caring. Thank you so much,
Bright-minded.
I love you so much.
Thanks,
I can't wait till we're out of this thing.
I know. Can't wait till I can, like, what am I going to have to do with, like, the 6-foot pole or something?
Oh, I miss you. Thank you, James.
Okay. Bye.
Hi, Steph.
Hi.
I have chipped toenails. I have bare fingers right now. So I wanted to bring in the best nail artist, Steph Stone, and she's going to show us how to do at-home manis. And Steph, you know that I go through so many phases with my nails. We've been working together for 10 years. I go through acrylic phases, rainbow phases, arty phases, clean and bare. And where I am in my life is totally reflected on my nails. So I have like a nail journey. So I wanted to share how we could keep like fun and playful nails as a way to lift up our vibes right now. I think that nail art is a really great way to look down at your hands and you get to see self-care and self-love. So I'm really excited to watch and learn, and I have all the tools.
I'm going to teach a nail art technique that you can use multiple different ways. Let's get started. Clouds, animal print, and floral. First things first, we're going to paint our base coats.
So do a blue base.
Blue base. To really paint inside the lines, you want to clean off your brush so it's not dripping polish everywhere.
Okay.
So kind of clean the stem off and then you can get started painting.
I got too excited and started painting immediately.
I love that. Okay, so in order to get it close to the cuticle, I kind of start not right at the edge, but then push it in and then pull it back up.
Okay.
So that way you're not getting it in the surrounding skin of your nail.
And this we're doing like a solid nail first.
Yes, solid nails, and then we'll get to splotching.
Cool.
One, I'm gonna paint nude, and that's gonna be the animal print.
Okay, here I got my nude.
3 swipes around the side.
You know I've got the babiest nails of all time. It takes like 1 swipe.
Yes, yours will be just 1 swipe.
My nails are so small.
And then the floral I'm gonna do on a sheer because it's kind of more dainty.
Okay.
This feels like when we do crafts in your kitchen.
This is just like crafts in my kitchen. I'm much better at working with like bedazzling bongs or vibrators. Nails are a little small for me.
Little tiny canvases.
Yes.
Okay.
Nails are little tiny canvases. That's a good way to look at it. I went ahead and like.
I love that. If you don't have all the browns for animal print, you can do rainbow cheetah print. It
Exactly.
doesn't have
And
to
I can
be.
think that about clouds also. Like you can make, what would it be like if the sky was rainbow? What would it be like if it was pink skies and purple clouds? Like a sunset. You can really change to any colors that you have.
Completely. And really the cloud technique is the same I use for the cow print, and it's just black and white. Okay, so we've got our base coats, and now we get to splotching.
Splotching. So we start with blue.
Let's start with blue.
With white clouds.
white clouds.
Okay.
And then this again is all about being in control of your polish. So it's really just removing all of the excess.
Yep.
Just cleaning off your brush so that there's barely anything on it.
It's cute.
It's so cute, right?
Yeah, super cute.
I think another thing about...
Oh my God, it kind of makes clouds look really easy.
It's so easy.
This is so good. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah. I feel like the clouds are so you.
The clouds are
I feel like
super
we
cute.
might have done these on you before.
I love this. Nails, nails, nails. Oh my God, I did a really good cloud.
I can't wait to see.
I'm so happy I can do this because I can honestly do this better than I can like regular nails. Like this is so fun.
I think placement on the nail is such a big factor in like how cute they are. They look so good. I love them, your baby nails.
I love them. They're so cute.
Okay, moving on from clouds, we're gonna let that dry before we put a top coat.
Yep.
If you put a top coat immediately after painting, you will just drag everything.
So now we should move on to, are we doing animal?
Animal.
Okay.
And then just splotch it around your nail, kind of evenly spaced out so that they're not too close together.
Love.
I think it's cute if you do some on the sides of the nail and like at the base or at the tip.
Okay, let me see yours. I'm going to copy you. Okay, very cute. Okay, got it. Right.
And it kind of looks like a sticker if you have it coming off the sides. Like you were saying, it's a good time to try shoes you wouldn't normally wear.
Yeah.
Experiment with nail art you wouldn't normally wear.
No one's going to see it.
Anywhere.
No one's going to see it, so it's fine.
After you've done your little brown blobby things,
Yep.
you're going to do the same with black.
Okay.
And this one you're going to clean off way more because you want the blobs to be like skinny, squiggly lines.
Okay.
And then I'm placing them around the brown blobs to create an animal print.
Around the brown to really give us like a leopard feel. Ooh, this is getting a little more technical.
Another trick, you could use a bobby pin.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or a toothpick or whatever you have around the house.
Oh my God, it's so cute. I'm obsessed with it.
And then you can also do just like
It's
little
really
dots.
cute. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy you're happy. This is the same movement and it can create such different things.
Agreed. I know. It's so cute, honestly. And you can do this with any color. That's so great.
Okay, so moving on to the sheer polish, this one is really easy. I like to do just one flower on different parts of the nail.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing one blob here. And you could layer different kinds of pink to create like the dimension of the flower petals if you want. So that's your little circle flower.
Yep.
And then similar to the way you did the black lines around the cheetah print, you're going to do the same with green. Just on two sides of the flower, just do a tap.
I'm obsessed.
Yay.
I am obsessed with this.
The same sheer that I used as the base color,
Yeah.
I'll kind of just tap in the middle of the flower.
You guys, this is so cute right now. My little nail. My little nails.
I love. You're so cute. And that's it. You can just kind of play around and create kind of any shapes you want. And again, like the colors are just a guideline.
I want people to be doing this at home, be tagging at Stepstone Nails, and then tag me, and I'm going to send you, and we'll send each other, everyone doing this at home, and then hopefully you want to post them on your Instagram. I'll post them on my Instagram. Thank you, Stepstone.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Love.
Wash your hands, everyone.
Yes, wash your hands, and that's going to mean like a lot of nail chipping, so you'll have to do it again, so you'll practice me perfect. Thank you. So my next guests are two of my most fab friends. So I'm really excited for them to join the show today. Justin Anderson and I have been friends forever. He started coloring my hair when I was doing bangers. And I went to him totally broken, and he put me back together again. Yes, this is metaphorical and also literal. I love him so much. And so he's going to walk us through DIY hair routines that will be demonstrated on Kristen Cavallari. So cute. Move over, nails. It's all about hair.
Riley!
Oh, you guys, don't look at the hair. These puppies.
She pulled her own scissors out.
Okay, so do you know, like, you know how your phone listens to you and just starts posting things like right after you say it?
Yeah.
So the minute that I gave myself this haircut, all of a sudden all my updates were just like Tiger King memes. But I realized what I did. So what I did was, instead of like going like this for the bang to like get my little bang, instead I did one of these.
Oh my God.
And went slowly forward.
Oh, she got a little stamp. Quarantine's like the scariest thing for you and your hair, because I feel like you love to do like a change every once in a while. Like, you're so low maintenance with letting your hair naturally air dry and stuff, but like you always want little like tweaks and stuff. So you being at home all day long with a pair of scissors,
And no
that's
one's
scary.
available.
Yeah.
No one's available.
No one
Everyone's
can
on
come touch you
lockdown.
up.
You know, our friend Alexi, I sent him a little text and said, can you leave your thinning shears in the mailbox? And went there with my Clorox wipes, and we got it. And so basically I learned that the thing about thinning shears, and when you have really curly hair, the thinner it gets, the lighter it is to bounce up. So I learned that when I woke up, and I was like, I woke up and Cody goes, why do you look really different? And I was like, so my joke is that I went to bed Miley Cyrus and I woke up Keith Richards.
You look good every way.
I'm
But your
kind
hair is
of okay
also
with it.
super tricky. I mean, Sally
It's a-
Hershberger like figured out the way to make your bangs work. Like,
I
and I
know.
told you that since day one. I was like, Miley, your hair is tricky with bangs. Like, you have to have the right person, and you knew to find Sally. And then now you think you're Sally.
I think I'm Sally. And literally she was like, she said to me, I called Sally, you know, and she's like, girl, I'm Sally Hershberger and I don't cut my own hair. What are you doing?
It's so true. You cannot cut your own hair. Like, nobody.
I'm okay with it. It's a fun time to play. It's a fun time to experiment. You were saying it's a really good time to like let your hair breathe, which I'm definitely leaving it alone.
Air dry.
Yeah. No, that's the thing that's so great about this quarantine time with hair is I feel like it gives us all the excuse to like wear our hair natural, do lots of treatments at home. Kristen, I made her really blonde like months ago, and now we've let all of her roots grow in. I'm like, girl, you're not going anywhere. Like, let all that grow in. All these pieces, like, because she was filming for a while, so all this stuff kind of got dry around the front. And I'm like, leave all that alone. We won't do any highlights for like months. Let it grow back in. But like, now's the time for all that.
Well, I actually think it's really cute too, because you end up just getting like cute little surfer, natural kind of hair.
I don't
really
know
natural, like mine. Just really, really natural. You know, it is a really good time for just like self-care, taking a break.
The thing that to remember though, and I really, really believe this, is like our bodies know how to take care of themselves. Like, we weren't designed to wear deodorant every day. If we really stopped wearing deodorant, that smell would start to go away. I do it though.
I need to do it.
Yeah, no, but if you like pull back from shampooing too much, like your scalp will balance back out. You know, like, we don't need to add conditioners all the time to the hair unless we're blow drying every day, because then we're stripping the good oils out.
That's a question I have, because I feel like right now it's the thing, especially on like Instagram pop-ups and sponsored ads, all this stuff is about anti-shampoo. What's the truth about shampoo and conditioner? What's the truth?
You're shampooing your hair every single day. Like, we've been taught to do this since we were little kids. We like wash our hair. Your scalp starts to freak out and it starts to overproduce natural oils because we're drying our scalp out. So then as we get older, our scalps get oilier and oilier, so we're washing it every single day. The thing that's hard is, as an adult, it's so hard to backpedal, because if you don't shampoo for a couple of days, yeah, your scalp's going to be really, really oily because we've conditioned it to be this way. So I genuinely believe that we all shampoo way too much. And take this time in quarantine, I mean, you can't, Miley, because you're a TV host right now, but it's like, if you could take this time to stop shampooing your hair as much and see what ends up happening, because The natural oils that our scalp produces, that's what makes our hair shiny and strong. When people shampoo, then they blow dry, put a flat iron to it. That pulling the good oils out and then styling it is where all the breakage happens.
Well, and dry shampoo too. Like I used to use dry shampoo all the time. Remember how dry my scalp was? I haven't used it in 3 weeks, and I haven't been washing my hair all the time, and my hair feels the best it's felt in probably years, honestly.
It's a really good time just to let everything do its own natural process. Because
it's a really good time for that.
How much of what we put in our body actually is showing on the outside?
Whatever's happening internally is going to show on the outside with our skin or our hair. And for the hair, I feel like it's a lot of like healthy fats, like avocado, salmon. What are some of
coconut oil?
Oh yeah, nuts and seeds. Eggs have a lot of biotin in them naturally. You don't need to eat animal protein. You can do it either way, but it's about getting natural like fats into your body.
Justin, you would say your advice for this time is less shampoo, less conditioner, as much time as we can let our hair just kind of rest. Don't use tools, no using like heat, no styling. You know, I love to like pull my hair in the tightest bun possible. Try to like.
I saw you do that the other day too.
Snatched. Not pulling our hair so tight, using lots of oils, eating lots of oils and healthy fats, taking it easy on ourselves like physically, because that just, everything that we do on the inside and the outside, they reflect one another. Self-care is self-love, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mentally too, like I think meditating is so good. Even 10 minutes a day, it really is not that much, and it makes such a difference. Just being mindful of your thoughts, it's helped me tremendously.
Yeah, and now we have the time for that. There's no excuses. All those things we said we never had time for, now we have time for them, and I think we need to take advantage of it.
Just like me creating my own talk show.
Which, by the way, this is my favorite thing in the world. I hope somehow this turns into something major, because it needs to be a thing.
How was I ever going to jack Ellen's throne when I was
I knew it was going to happen.
I didn't have time to sabotage Jimmy Kimmel, but now I do.
You're so good at it. I'm so proud of you, and I love people seeing the side of you. It's so funny. I mean, I've been your friend forever, and you really are one of the most inspirational. I get so excited to talk to you about everything. I mean, you and I get into manic, crazy text messages about the most random shit ever, and I love that people get to see this really special side to you, because when you get to calm down, just being your element, your natural element, like at home, it's the most special version of Miley. So I'm just glad everyone gets to see it.
I'm loving it. Thank you guys so much for being on the show, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. So my next guest is known worldwide for being beautiful on the outside, but knowing her personally for years, she is just as stunning on the inside. One of the biggest and brightest hearts that you can find. Miranda Kerr and her company, Cora Organics, have been working with Harvest Home Pregnant Women's Shelter for years. And during this time of crisis, Miranda and Cora are donating product to the UCLA medical staff workers who tirelessly dedicate themselves to saving lives. Miranda and her family have donated $5 million supporting organizations that assist in health and food security, housing, and financial hardship. I love, love, love this woman, and I am super stoked to connect Miranda Kerr. Yes! Okay,
We made it work.
This is so, so good. Okay. I'm so
amazing. Do you want to meet Teddy? My little dog is here.
Yes.
This is Teddy. Oh, Teddy, say hi.
Hi, Teddy. Oh my goodness. Hi, baby. I see why you're Teddy. You're such a Teddy.
Isn't she cute?
So, so cute. I wanted to start by asking you, what does self-care mean to you, and how does self-care reflect self-love?
Physically, mentally, emotionally taking care of yourself is something that I feel is more important now than ever. So many different ways work for different people. And also, you know, thanks for having me on to share some of the ways that work for me.
I am super excited. You know, these are very trying times. And my dad said that is no time to quit trying. So how do you stay light in dark times? What are some of the tools that you use?
Well, first of all, I like to put like a bright t-shirt on.
Yes.
That really helps uplift my mood.
Yeah.
Another fun thing is I like to actually paint my toenails red That helps.
Ooh, nice.
But then other things that I like to do is like make sure that I do even a 10-minute meditation. Sometimes it's nice to just have a guided meditation, and that's why I like Insight Timer.
Yeah.
And yoga for me is a big one, like Kundalini yoga. Have you ever tried Kundalini yoga?
Yes, I used to do Ashtanga for a really long time.
I don't know about you, but aromatherapy is something that I have always felt has helped me in times of like stress, and I have like different aromatherapies that I really like using. Just a simple lavender, you know, I've got like,
I love lavender.
the doTERRA brands are really good. Like the lavender just helps. I just put it on my, you know, on my hands or on my wrists, and just makes it feel so good.
Yeah. We kind of talked about yoga and ways that you can stay active in small spaces, you know. So during quarantine, you can feel a little trapped, a little stuck, and I think like all the stretching and yoga is so good for that. What are things that you can do inside a small space, that you can do from home, ways that you can stay active?
Well, I personally turn the music on because music is everything. I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
And we love your music in our household, and we turn on the song we really like is We Can't Stop.
Yeah.
And we love that song. Turn that on, dance around. Flynn is just like so sweet. He's 9 years old now.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so we'll turn the music on, and that way you can even dance, you can do squats.
Some days they're easier to cope than others, and we all struggle with anxiety around the situation. And, you know, how do you calm yourself down in a state of panic or fear? What's kind of your schedule to keep yourself calm?
Well, I love to kind of keep our schedule that we had before isolation. So for instance, like every day my husband wakes up at 5:30 in the morning. And so when he wakes up at 5:30, I've got like an hour before the kids wake up. And that's when I'll do a little meditation, a few yoga stretches, pick a little affirmation. I love to pick random affirmations. Or what I do is I flick to a book that I'm reading and read a random page. Yeah. And then I feel like that's the message for me for the day. I absolutely love like David Hawkins' books. So this is Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. Flynn actually has a few of his drawings in here. He's so cute because if I'm reading or whatnot, he'll be drawing. Look at
Oh my God. What? That's so cool.
Yeah, he's the sweetest. And he's such a little artist. And we've been FaceTiming. So on Snapchat, you can actually FaceTime like and use the lenses when you're FaceTiming. So we call my dad in Australia, who's with my grandma. We put the funny lenses on them and we all just laugh, and it makes you forget for a moment that you're actually, you know, what's going on in the world, and we can just have that little bit of fun. And the little ones just like love it to see the funny lenses on my grandma and on my dad, like with, you know, with like all different little animation things going on around my grandma's head, and she thinks it's hilarious as well.
I bet they love that.
And we're cooking together a lot. Flynn got excited the other day and he was like, Mom, let's make some lemonade. And, you know, we got a couple of lemons from our lemon tree and made some lemonade. And then we all had that for dinner, and it made him feel good about himself because he had provided part of the meal. Even though it was just simple lemonade, he felt like, oh, do you like it? Is it tasty? You know, did I put enough sugar in there?
That is so cute. I wanted to ask you before we signed off. I think sharing is totally caring. That's why I wanted to start the show, that everyone could share their routines and ways that they're kind of coping.
Yeah, actually, I was inspired by you because I've been watching what you were doing, and I was like, this is really cool because people can tune in. They feel like they're connecting with you. They feel like they're learning something through all the people that you're speaking with. And so I was like, that would be really cool if I could, you know, do something like that. I'm starting tomorrow, Wellness Wednesdays with Miranda. So tomorrow I'm starting with Gurumukh. I think she's like one of the first to bring Kundalini yoga to America, and she was taught by Yogi Bhajan. And Yogi Bhajan is my homeboy, so I even have a t-shirt that says that. I feel really excited to be able to share that little bit of magic from her and through those practices with, you know, whoever wants to watch.
That sounds really badass. I'll definitely be there. I need to get moving and like flowing, and the show is like taking over my life. You know, I'm texting you at like midnight about the show, and
I'm like, oh my, I don't know how you do it. That's why I'm like,
saying,
one day a week I can do it, and that's it.
You're saying that your hubby's up at 5:30. That's when I set my alarm at like 5:30. I get up, I go over my notes and make sure everyone feels really taken care of. And so I could use a little yoga. So I'll see you for Wellness Wednesday. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
I'm so happy it worked out. Thanks, Miranda.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
So our next guest is Ashley Graham, who recently tweeted her support for Bright Minded. Oh my God!
Hi!
It's working. We're having a
It's
few.
working!
I wanted to introduce you. I think everyone watching knows who you are. Ashley Graham, who recently just tweeted your support for Bright Minded. And I literally freaked out because I'm obsessed with you.
Aww.
And you radiate like so much light and love and positivity wherever you go. And it's just an honor to have you on the show because I just think it really connects.
Thank you.
I want to start by asking you, how did you get into Bright Minded? How did you discover the show? Your tweet just meant so much to me.
Well, honestly, you kept popping up on my lives, and it was like your live kept popping up, so I kept going to it. And it was not only the bright colors, your fun little looks, but also just your positivity, because I think right now we're in a moment of that's all we need. We don't need the haters. We don't need the critics. We don't really, like, who cares about like what else is going on except for how people are staying together and how they're staying bright in this very dim moment of time.
Yeah.
So I just really appreciated that, and I just kept watching, and here we are now.
And here we are. I wanted to know, how are you like kind of living the Bright Minded philosophy? How are you staying lit in dark times?
You know, it's interesting because I actually ended up taking a road trip from New York, where I live, to Nebraska, where I'm from. And my mom said, my mom is living in New York and helping us with my new baby who's 10 weeks old. And she's like, you guys, I think we should just go back to Nebraska and get out of New York before we have to stay in this 1,000 square foot box. And we're so lucky that she has this house out here. So she was like, it's 20 hours, let's go. And we drove 20 hours, and it's been a breath of fresh air to be able to look out. Like, I'm looking outside right now and I see grass, and I can go for a walk. I'm able to be with my son and my husband, and I'm really seeing the silver lining in all of this for myself, because I'm still technically in my maternity leave. And if I was still in New York and all of this wasn't happening, I would have had to go back to work. So I'm trying to stay positive in that aspect, and it is brightening everything for me.
So this would have been time that you could and probably should take off, but I know you're a lot like me. Like, we just love to work. You love doing what you do. My granddad said, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. So it's very hard to stop that if you love it. So maybe this is kind of like forcing you to take the time to really bond with your new baby, really experience this time that you'll never get back with your husband, that may have been more challenging to actually really push pause.
Oh, 100%. And in the beginning, I said to my team, like, oh, I only want to take 2 months off. And then as I got more and more pregnant and I realized that time with your new baby is so precious, I started extending my time. And then as I was extending my time, the team was adding things. But now here's the silver lining. Like you just said, like, I'm having that time that I never thought that I would have been able to have if all of this wouldn't be happening. So I feel really grateful and incredibly blessed.
Agreed. And today is the self-care episode. Yesterday we were talking about the doctors and healthcare workers that do so much to keep us healthy and to keep us safe. But there's things that we can do at home for ourselves that also boost immunity, like taking our vitamins, working out, doing all these things that we can kind of like boost our immune system, try to keep ourselves healthy physically. But I think keeping ourselves healthy mentally is just as important right now, because there is a lot of anxiety and there can be surrounding, feelings of depression. And so what does self-care mean to you, and what's your approach, and how do you think self-care is reflective of self-love?
Wow. Okay. I'm going to answer those in segments.
Let's get it.
So something that I've been doing is definitely working out. I've been really, for me, that is a great stress reliever, and yoga. If you have the space and you have the mental capacity to do it, just really try to do it. Something else, like you were saying about eating well, because I think if you're just sitting around and eating crap all day, it's not going to make you feel good. When I eat too much sugar, I get really anxious. So I've been really trying to watch it. But the biggest thing for me is I've always been talking about affirmations, and in this time my affirmations have really changed, and one of the biggest affirmations that my husband and I have been saying now to each other, especially in the moments where we hear about a friend who has COVID, or we just had a friend yesterday who passed away from it, we tell each other, fear not. And this is a big statement that we say in my home, because we don't want to live our lives out of fear. We want to live our lives out of hope, and to continue to say fear not to each other is something that really hones in for us to stay locked into this hopefulness.
I love that. I love that so much. And I love things, you know, yesterday I had on Zion Clark, who was saying no excuses, because it's pretty easy to make a list of excuses. Like in the world before, where we were really busy and we were really go. I don't have time, and I have too much work, and I don't
You got the time now.
Yeah, so those were those excuses. Now it's like, well, there's also the excuses of I don't have enough space. I don't have gym equipment. I don't have a trainer. The best training we can do is getting ourselves mentally determined and strong.
This is an important time to really take control of who you are, and to really, you know, be mindful about what are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you talking to? Because those things can fill up your mind with telling you who you are. And it's your job to tell yourself who you are, not the surrounding world around you. So incredibly important.
I have so many like questions for you, and you're just like hitting all of them before I even get there, and I'm so excited.
Oh, well, you know, I could ask you some questions, Miley.
Yesterday I was having I was just having a hard time yesterday with just like self-love, which it was so important that today's episode happened, because I am not like the preacher or the teacher. I'm just the student that just wants to talk to people and like learn. Every day I'm learning something new. Why are we allowed to have a list of things that we want to change or we don't like, but it's kind of like frowned upon to make a list of things that you really love about yourself? What's something that you love about yourself?
Wow. I love my ability to find happiness in any situation. And that really comes from my mom also. She's an incredibly happy person, and she's had me always think about the glass being half full instead of half empty. And thank God, because in this time, I am seeing the silver lining, and I am seeing positivity, but that can be very difficult for people, because we live in a time where, like you just said, we're always looking for the negative or something to change. And I think if you're constantly looking for something, you're going to find it. So stop looking for the negative is what I always tell myself and my friends. Stop looking, because it's going to be there. So if you start changing your words, changing your mind, then it's actually going to manifest right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you practice self-discipline in times where it's just really easy to want to like binge TV? It's been really tough for me to get up and work out. How do you stay accountable?
So the only way that I will stay accountable is if it's in my calendar. If it's in my calendar, hell yeah. If it's in my calendar, then I will do it. Now, if we're talking about food, this has been a difficult time to stay accountable for food, because, you know, you just you're sitting around and then you're bored and you're eating, and you're like, am I eating because I'm bored? I'm in the house bored, you know, that song. So it's like, that has been something where I've had to check myself, and I do find myself drinking a lot more water. I've always been a big water drinker, but in those moments where I'm like, I just had a hamburger and some sweet potato fries and I'm still hungry, maybe I'm just going to have a big old bottle of water now.
And I think we're looking for like comfort. We feel kind of empty and uncertain, and like there's a lot of unknowing. And so you're looking to feel full, and you're looking to feel like warm.
Yes.
And it's really emotional. It's less about like actually physically needing something more. It's emotionally, spiritually needing something more.
Totally.
And I think a lot about how my body is super telling of what I'm going through in my life. So when I'm happy, I eat a lot more. When I'm stressed or when I'm heartbroken, I eat a lot less.
Okay.
And in this time, I've been pretty flexible with like my diet, my exercise. So how do you see that your body reflects or changes according to what you're going through, or not just for this moment, but does your body
In
really
general?
react to stress and anxiety?
You know, it's funny because I've always heard of people like you who are like, when you're happy, you're eating a lot. When you're not happy, you're not eating as much. And I am like just always eating. There's just always food in front of me, whether it's a good day, a bad day, a celebration, we're traveling, you know, whatever it is. So for me, that's not always the best gauge. For what I like to gauge my body off of is, am I taking care of it? Do I feel aches and pains? Do I feel soreness? Do I feel like I'm as flexible as I was last week? And if those things are not lining up with the way that I should be, then I amp up my yoga, I amp up my stretching, I amp up my workouts. So really, when my body is feeling good, then I'm feeling good. But if I'm really feeling tight and soreness, then it's like the first thing I feel. So I try to address it right away.
I think it's hard for me when I'm traveling too, because I take a lot of long bus rides. I'm on a lot of flights. I think that's something that I notice a lot about myself too, is soreness. And we talk a lot about like inflammation on the show and things that we can do. Like I love yoga, love breathing exercises, love meditation. You don't really have to work out that hard to create a fire inside of your body.
No, you don't. The chaturanga is the hardest thing in the world for me. So I put the block under my hips and then I do my chaturanga. That is a goal for me, to do the perfect chaturanga.
Yeah.
Have you heard of self-havening?
No.
So it's a form of therapy. It's basically, you do this and you're self-havening. And also Justin Bieber was just caught doing it as well, because it helps with anxiety. But I learned it from my midwife, and she was teaching me how to self-haven. And then there's lots of like facial things that you can do as well. And it teaches you touch. It teaches you how to connect with self. And when there's a lot of people who are self-isolating, look, you're self-isolating, right? You're alone.
No, but I'm on like my 20th day. I started
and
party buddy.
It gets real out there, especially when you're alone and all you're craving is someone to just give you a hug, give you a kiss, just cuddle with you.
Yeah.
And that self-havening it can be really powerful.
Yeah, I really miss my mom, but my mom is in her 50s. You're gonna like hurt me. My mom is in her 50s, and so my grandma is in her late 80s, and my mom cares for my grandma, and so
You can't, yeah.
Vulnerable. I think this is going to encourage a lot of older people to start using technology. My dad got an iPad. My dad used to say 2 BlackBerries equaled 1 iPhone, which is not the case. So I had 2 BlackBerries, but actually learning a new skill fights dementia, Alzheimer's, and a lot of kind of supports our brain to learn a new skill. So I think it's really good. My grandma just got on Zoom, so I should
Hello, Granny.
It's super cool. So is there anything that you've learned or anything that you're going to try to learn? Maybe it's just even your yoga, since you have a new time to learn a new skill.
You know, Justin, my husband, speaks Italian, and we have family there. So I am thinking about taking on that language. And like, what better time to do this? Because, you know, it's just about having a conversation with someone. That's the best way to learn another language, is what I hear. Yeah. So I'm thinking about just going on with some of our Italian friends and having them teach me Italian.
I'm sure you have so many Italian fans, and coronavirus totally just kind of destroyed so many lives, and Italy could really use a lot of love, and so it'd be amazing. So if you learn Italian, you DM me, I'm gonna learn it too, and then we can send some special messages to our Italian
I would love that. I would love that. My family's in Calabria right now, and they're self-quarantining. They're doing okay, but it's heartbreaking what's been happening there.
My country ass with Italian. I try to speak French, and like, even if I'm doing right, it's just like, still, I'll be like, oh, like, bonjour,
merci.
Bonjour, y'all. Well, I just want to thank you so much. I'm so happy that you are getting to spend this time with your baby, with your husband, with your family. And I just want to thank you so much for being on the show. I'm a puppy mom right now, and I'm exhausted, so you have to be tired, and I'm glad you get this time to rest.
Oh, yeah. Well, being a puppy mom is probably hardcore too, but you don't have to wake up like 2 or 3 times in the night to feed them, though.
At least your baby doesn't bite your foot.
Not yet. Not yet.
My baby just sits there and chews on my ankle.
Oh, but that's so cute.
So cute.
Oh, well, thanks for having me on, Miley.
Thank you.
You have to come on to Pretty Big Deal on my podcast. I have to have you on.
I will. We'll trade. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys for another great episode of Bright Minded. Tomorrow is April Fool's, so I put together an extra fun episode. We're going to have pop artist Ashley Longshore, Zoe Kravitz, Brazilian pop icon Anitta, and Diplo. See you then.